Gen Z is the first generation that has a lower IQ than the previous generation. People were pointing at AI as the reason for that. I don't think that's fair. Gen AI has only been out for a couple of years. If we're going to point any fingers, it's probably social media and the destruction of attention spans. People are on TikTok, they're on Instagram. I'm guilty of this. I can only imagine what it's like for a young developing brain to be hit with all of that distraction. It's much more interesting than reading a book. The book is boring compared to TikTok. So I can imagine that has devastating consequences on a developing brain. That was just one study, and I don't think it was very reputable. That said, I would not be that surprised if we see decreasing attention spans and the decrease in the amount of learning, because the cognitive friction, the cognitive load has been removed from us because of generative AI. And that's going to be a real big problem for younger generations who can just skip all of the work, go straight through, not have to deal with this messy middle part. They can skip that and go straight on to the end result, the essay. It is the script, the paper they need to put in. They can generate that better than a human within a few minutes, rather than having to go through all this process, which robs them of the learning. But again, we have to remember that people have different priorities. And if they can get to the same result in a short amount of time, can we blame them for that? No. But you, as somebody who's engaging with this technology on a daily basis and who wants to use AI, but use it responsibly and to also continue learning, to continue using this muscle, these are just a few ways that you can start to do that. I'm compiling lots of different ways because I think this is a huge problem. So I'd love to hear, if you comment below this video, once it's up on YouTube, if you can comment other ways that you're using AI to not reduce cognitive load, but to kind of exercise your brain a bit more. I would love to hear them because I think that would be very useful for everybody, and then I'll compile them into a larger guide later. But hopefully this has been useful, because this is a problem that's been circulating in my head for a while. As I mentioned in the WhatsApp group this morning, we were all talking about it, and we're talking about kids specifically, people talking about their kids. I think it is a problem that needs some kind of resolution.